Let's go live. Hey, happy Friday, happy Friday. Wow, you guys getting a lot of content from me today. Happy Friday, guys. Can you hear me loud and clear? Those of you watching on YouTube, those of you watching on the Kempire or Kempire Daily on Facebook, those of you watching on Twitch, Twitter, and behind the scenes here on TikTok. We were just talking on TikTok, talking about some of the dates that are coming up on the Kempire After Dark live tour. As you know, we just dropped for members only on YouTube a portion of our New York City sold out show. So be sure to check that out if you are a member or want to become a member. Also, we will be in DC on February 16th for the Kempire After Dark live tour. Today, tickets went on sale for our Philly date at City Winery in Philly on March 7th. More information on that will be available in the description of the video, and if you're listening to this, of the episode. All right? All right, we have a lot to unpack. You know, we haven't done a TGIF live in more than a couple of weeks. We do this impromptu because I can't commit. I got commitment issues. I've got commitment issues, so I don't do it every time. But if you're new here, very similar to what we do on our Tuesday Takeover, we do for our TGIF Friday. However, we won't be talking about reality TV unless you want me to talk about traders. look, like I'm pressuring you. Unless you want me to talk because I watched it. All right. So let's get into our TGIF live. We have a lot to unpack when it comes to the Mo'Nique, D.L, Oprah, Tyler Perry, Tiffany Haddish. We've got to talk about Jonathan Majors and those new allegations. But we also have to start with some good news. Let's get into it.
It's been dark way too long in this place. That bright smile long gone been replaced. From ear to ear I see that fear in your face. Tell me when the last time you felt safe, cause there's some evil people in the streets. Evil at your front door, creeping while you sleep. It's time to raise up, show that evil we ain't weak. We don't turn the other cheek, I can show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
I am the fifth member. How about that?
How about that? How about that? Huh? I see a lot of you want me to talk about the traders. So before we get into the whole Mo'Nique situation, because we have a couple of clips that we have to look at that are long, all right? And I want to luxuriate in some of this information, okay? All right. First off, as you know, we always love to start a live show like this off with some good news. And since we are talking about Mo'Nique in this live, I think it's important to talk about one of the people that she addressed in this. Well, we got a couple of good news from some of the people she addressed. But Taraji P Hensen has some good news. So let's play this clip that she posted on her social media.
Hey, everybody. I'm not sure if you saw this on People, but guess what? I wrote a children's book. It's called You Can Be a Good Friend No Matter What. And it's available for pre-order as of today. So real quick, let me tell you a little bit about this book, my heart behind it, and what I think it will do for all the precious little ones out there, and for you too. You see, mental health struggles can start even in childhood, and oftentimes it starts with being bullied. This book isn't just about bullying, though. It's about how children all have something different about them, and being different is what makes them so special. So this book is for the kids who feel different. This book is for the parents who want their kids to accept differences. And this book is for the kids and families who've encountered hard times because of differences. Like I said already, differences.
Well, first off, congratulations to Taraji P Hensen, because you know, during the Color Purple press tour, Taraji talked a lot about her struggles in Hollywood, unfair pay, unfair treatment. And this is just one of the things that she's had to do to make some coin. She's had to come out with a book. She's had to do all kinds of side hustles. So let's make sure we support Taraji in this new children's book. You can be a good friend no matter what. It comes out on June 18th of this year. Speaking of June, I see our friend Chanel Ion posted some information. I don't know, Chanel, you will get in trouble for talking so much. But this might be good news because a lot of you have been asking me at the New York City live show. You asked me, when is Dubai coming? And I told you, I don't think till the summer. Well, Chanel posted on her Twitter that you can expect the Real Housewives of Dubai in June. Calm down. Before you know it, it's already, look, before you know it, Black History Month will be over. Oh, damn. It's the shortest month of the year, okay? We do have an extra day this year. But she says Real Housewives of Dubai will be coming in June. Are you looking forward to it? Do you think that's too long? We have to keep in mind, though, Bravo right now has a wealth of content on here. And I think it would do Dubai a disservice if there's so much out there and that they're competing with and you don't get to see it. All right? So reportedly, according to Chanel Ion, they won't be coming back till June. But if you were at BravoCon, you already saw the first episode and you saw the trailer. And based off of that first episode, I was like, this is what I like. The fact that Dubai sort of separates itself from the rest of the franchise with how they do things, what they're joking about, what they're fighting about, how confessionals are done, what they're bringing. Based off the first episode, I was like, all right, let's see. And we know a lot of you have been asking what's going on between Chanel and Lisa. I guess we will have to wait and watch in June. See you ladies then. All right. All right, some other good news. So for those that are just joining us, this is our TGIF Live. We do this every once in a while when I have some time. We got a little time today, so we're talking about some hot topics. We will get to the Mo'Nique and D.L. of the situation in a moment. But I did want to give you some more good news. The more good news. Vogue. So Vogue, well, British Vogue, I should point out. British Vogue. I honestly, because of now their former editor-in-chief, I know he will be leaving soon, Edward Enninful, he's really he's brought so much attention to British Vogue. I don't feel like here in the States we really talked or celebrated British Vogue the way that we do since he took over. All right? But now they pushed him out, allegedly. Allegedly. So, according to People magazine, they said Edward Enninful wanted to go out with a bang and all his buds. This is how they worded it. The British Vogue editor-in-chief marked the end of his tenure at the magazine with a massive cover shoot for the March 2024 issue with 40 stars. Yes, 40. He gathered women from every corner of the celebrity world to be a part of the most epic photo shoot the magazine has ever seen, and they all came together on one day in New York this past December. I found it interesting they did it here in New York. Maybe it was just a great central place to get all of the women there, because there are a lot of Americans that are on it as well. So NFL wrote this for British Vogue, saying, "When it came to my last issue, I knew the cover would be dedicated to women. Of course, women have shaped British Vogue for close to 108 years now, and have certainly informed every moment of my 6.5-year tenure here, to say nothing of leading and guiding me through my entire life." He called upon 40 people from British Vogue's storied history from while he was at his post at the magazine, and everyone showed up. He wrote that he had held his breath for weeks after sending out the asks, but they came, as did photographers Stephen Meisel and Ned Rogers, as well as hair creative director Guido Palo and a team and makeup artist Pat McGrath. Shout out to Pat. Come on, Pat McGrath, legend, and team. So there were, as you can see from this cover, first of all, I know that Naomi Campbell has had such a very close relationship with Edward since he became the editor-in-chief over at British Vogue, and she's been involved a lot with some of his projects. So over there, so I knew she had to be on the cover. But look at this cover. Beautiful, beautiful, and we bid you adieu, Edward, even though they pushed you out and they shouldn't have pushed you out. Like, really, Anna? Look, really, Anna? Like, when are you going to retire? When... They should have brought Edward over here to the Vogue, because he made British Vogue like a thing again. Happy Black History Month, Edward. You went out with a bang. You did that. We're talking about this government. We're not talking about the one here in America. Congratulations. I say all that to say. Whoopie. So Whoopi Goldberg had Sheryl Lee Ralph. Wagwan Cheryl. Cheryl looks amazing. Sheryl Lee Ralph and Tracy Chapman. Did you see Tracy Chapman at the Grammys this year? We did not get a chance, but I have a picture here. I'm so glad that I did not delete this picture. Tracy Chapman at the Grammys this year. I need you to take a look at Tracy Chapman. Tracy Chapman has not performed in years. All right. Her song is doing Fast Car is climbing the charts yet again. She sounded amazing. She looked amazing. She looked like stuck in time. The only thing you could tell that has aged is the gray in her hair. But Sheryl Lee Ralph and Tracy Chapman are just a reminder. When you are good from the inside, you will age beautifully. And mind your business. She looks amazing. And so does Sheryl Lee Ralph. Sheryl Lee Ralph was on The View this week. I just want to say congratulations to her because Whoopi invited Sheryl to be a part of Sister Act 3. Whoopi, you've been talking about Sister Act 3 for a long time. And I get it. Sometimes it takes a long time to make these things happen. And I'm a fan of Sister Act 1 and 2. But 2 is my favorite with Lauren. Are we going to be able to get Lauren? Because if we're going to bring... Remember, Sheryl Lee Ralph played Lauren's mom in the movie. So I wonder exactly what she will do in this next one. But Sheryl is having a moment. She's having a moment. And I know you're all thinking, like, she's been around for a long time. But now she's really getting, like the recognition that she deserves. All right? And Abbott Elementary's back. I can't wait to watch that. That's one of my faves on ABC. So I want to say congratulations to Sheryl Lee Ralph on that. Our sister. All right? Also, I want to say congratulations to Usher. Usher, as you know, will be having a concert this weekend, masked as a football game. Yeah, the Usher concert is happening on Sunday. If you follow me on TikTok, I will more than likely be live watching it with you on live, the Usher concert. All right? So, Usher, unprecedented. This has never happened in Super Bowl history that I can recall. He's getting an extra 2 minutes for his Super Bowl halftime show. I saw that. I was like, Usher? It's getting an extra 2 minutes? But look, I'm excited about this Usher concert. I'm excited about the Usher concert because he has a catalog. I know a lot of people aren't feeling his new album. Do you know his new album came out? Have you listened to it? It's called Coming Home. I listened to 1 or 2 songs. I haven't listened to the entire album, but I see a lot of people aren't necessarily enjoying it. But it's okay. Usher's still going to win because even if y'all don't enjoy it, those streaming numbers are going to kill after he does the Super Bowl. All right? So Usher's getting an extra 2 minutes to perform at the Super Bowl. And I know you're probably thinking, that's 2 minutes, Kempire. They only usually get like 12 minutes. All right? 12, 13 minutes, if that. So Usher's going to use all of that time. And he's going to fit maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 more songs. Usher, you know how you could kill it? Sidebar, it was just announced that Alicia Keyes will be performing with Usher. How do you feel about that? They got to sing this song, My Boo. They're going to sing that. And she probably is going to sing her songs. She's probably going to sing, No One. She's got some hits. Sidebar. Oh, damn. So many sidebars. It's okay. We're going to get to it. Don't rush me. Do you guys know Apple has this new thing, Apple Vision Pro? All right. And Alicia is a part of this whole experience that they're doing. It's called the immersion experience. So they have a few different videos where you can sort of have these virtual headsets on that they just came out with from Apple. And like you could be on top of a mountain watching this woman sort of, not rock climb. She's sort of like, I don't know what you call it. Like she's walking across a line, high line. There you go. She's walking across that, and it's like you're walking with her. It's insane. There's one where you go to South Africa and you can be with the rhinos as they're feeding the rhinos. Oh my God! And it feels like you're there. So Alicia Keyes is also has something similar there, except you see her rehearsing for some show. So her tour. So it's almost like when she turns to the camera, it's like she's looking at you because it feels like you're in there. It feels like Alicia's right there and the piano's right in front of you. This is not a paid advertisement, but they should. Come on now. But I'm actually really impressed. I'll talk more about it in another video, but I wanted to mention that about Alicia. So Alicia will be joining Usher at the Usher concert this weekend, masked as the Super Bowl. All right, before we get into this Mo'Nique situation, I gotta talk about Jonathan Majors. So as you know, Jonathan Majors was found guilty of, I forgot how many charges. He was found I think he was found guilty of two of the charges and not guilty of two other charges. I can't remember. Please forgive me. But now he's facing more allegations from two former girlfriends. Rolling Stone is writing this. It says the women, Emma Duncan and Maura Hooper, spoke to the New York Times and alleged Majors was physically and or emotionally abusive during their overlapping relationships with the actor. Duncan claims that on multiple occasions, Majors was physically violent with her. During one alleged fight in July of 2016, Majors allegedly choked Duncan, threw her body across the room, and threatened he was going to make sure that she couldn't have children. Majors denied the accusations. Hooper, who dated Majors from 2013 to 2015 after meeting him at Yale's prestigious drama school, claimed Majors was deeply controlling and was not allowed to speak to anyone about their relationship. Majors' attorney Priya Chaudhry said that Majors was young and insecure during this time period and is embarrassed by some of his jealous behavior. Here's the thing. Jonathan, I don't know who is your damage control people. If it's the same people from during this whole trial situation, sir, I need you to figure this out. Hold on, y'all. My mouse is frozen on me. There we go. Hold on. Why is this frozen on me? Hold on, y'all. There we go. Let me move this. Okay. So here's the thing. So when this news came out, these two former girlfriends had these accusations against Jonathan Majors. As you know, he's been dropped by Marvel and Disney. He was dropped by his management company, his PR company. And ever since he was dropped by his PR company, the PR has been terrible. So, of course, in the same time that this news came out about these former girlfriends, don't forget, we also did a story about the expose where they spoke to, I forgot how many people from Jonathan Majors' past, and that painted him not in the best light. Only for today, they are saying this in regards to Jonathan Majors and Meagan Good, because you know him and Meagan Good are together. I'm going to say allegedly. Even though they have confirmed their relationship, I'm going to say allegedly because I don't believe this relationship. So only for this information to come out, an exclusive, this information, they think that we're dumb at this point. So People Magazine gets an exclusive, all right, as this news comes out that Jonathan Majors is being accused by two former girlfriends of being abusive. So People writes this: Jonathan Majors and girlfriend Meagan Good are still going strong. Despite his recent guilty verdict for assault and new allegations of past abusive behavior, according to a source, says they're solid and very much in love. That's his Coretta. That's what he said. I already told y'all how I feel about him using Coretta's name. Majors in December was found guilty, as you know, of misdemeanor assault in the 3rd degree, recklessly causing a physical injury, as well as harassment in the 2nd degree in a domestic violence case related to an alleged fight between him and his former girlfriend, Grace Jabari, in New York City in March of 2023. Now he's been living with Good in Greenwich Village neighborhood of New York. Oh, really? I never ran into them. Look. Now he's living with Meagan in Greenwich Village neighborhood of New York City, the source confirms. First of all, here's the thing. Megan's probably here in New York living with him because it's probably cheaper. Because remember, she films Harlem. We know we love Harlem. Megan, why are you lying on this sword? Like, I will never understand it. But I also don't agree with everyone that says, Megan, how could you leave that good pastor man for this? No, she could have left him and not get into this mess. You could do both, okay? But this is what you decide to be with? You decide to be with a man that's literally, at the time, in the middle of these types of allegations. I would be like, you know what? I'm not going to hold you. This is a very serious situation. Once you figure all your stuff out, I'll be over here and we could try it once all that stuff is done. Once your trial is done. Not dumb. Done. Damn. Freudian slip? Maybe. Look, maybe. I will never understand it, and I will probably forever give Megan the side eye about this situation. Like, that was a choice. That was suspicious. But girl, look, you like it, I love it. It doesn't have to be my relationship. Do I believe that it's a real relationship, though? I don't. I feel like a lot of things that Jonathan Majors, no matter if you feel that he's guilty or not guilty, I feel like whoever has been handling his PR has been doing a terrible job. Because, of course, right after these allegations come out, you know what we're going to put out next? You and Megan are still together and living blissfully. Yeah, that's going to work. They're going to believe it. They're not going to listen to anybody else. If y'all don't get the hell out of here. What's wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? Why did they think that the world is stupid? All right. Look, I just wanted to report that to you guys, all right? I just wanted to give you an update in regards to that. Okay. Let me see if I can find my mouse. Hold on, y'all. Dude, there we go. Hold on, let me move this over, y'all. Guys, you're just joining us. This is our TGIF. We are recapping some of the hot topics of the day. But most importantly, a lot of you have been asking me about the whole Mo'Nique D.L situation, the Mo'Nique interview on Club Shay Shay. Who watched the Mo'Nique 3-hour Club Shay Shay interview? Let me know in the live chat if you haven't, if you have or if you haven't, okay? All right. So I watched it, and I watched it once. But I've watched so many other clips since then in regards to it, so I feel like I've watched it more than once. But when I watched it, I took notes, all right? And I did a whole podcast. So my initial reaction, go take a listen to that on the Kempire podcast. You will be able to listen to this and take us on the go and special episodes on the Kempire podcast if you haven't already. All right? Hold on. K-Baby says, Kempire, you'd be surprised. Some people online are hoping it's real. I mean, look, I don't hope that it's real. I just hope she's okay. Look, like, I just hope she's okay and, you know, she's making the right decision for her life. Okay. All right. Some of you say you just seen clips. Okay. It's all right. Because I feel like you're going to get a full synopsis today on the drama. I'm not going to play all of what played out in the interview. I'm going to play you an update. I did do another story this past week in regards to D.L. Hughley responding to what Mo'Nique said in this Club Shay Shay interview. All right. So let's first play the clip in regards to what Mo'Nique said about D.L. on Club Shay Shay. I believe this is what, hold on. Let me just make sure. Yeah.
I knew that would get him on there. I knew that would pop him back in, baby. I knew that would get up a Shay Shay.
But even this show, I have a producer and I give him a lot of leeway. But I've had people reach out and say, well, a family member said something and I want to come on your show and refute it. That ain't what we do here.
Right. It's like, it's almost, you don't cross that barrier.
We don't do the family thing.
You don't do the family thing. And I'm going to bring this up. I wasn't going to do it. But damn it, this seat.
You might want to have another
Look, this seat makes you go, truth, tell it. No, tell the damn truth. God damn it, tell the truth. Because family is sacred.
It's supposed to be.
And we don't cross the line with family.
Mm-hmm.
And people begin to get comfortable to jump on the Mo'Nique bandwagon of Mo'Nique doing things wrong, and she doing this and she doing that. And there's a brother named D.L. Hughley.
Yep.
And until he take accountability, I won't let it go.
What?
Because, what was you going to say?
I was gonna say, what did DL do?
Let me tell you. Baby, that voice went up, didn't it? DL is friend. He like, that's my friend.
No, I've met DL on several occasions. I don't know DL like that.
Okay.
Do I know DL say like I know an earthquake? No. Do I know since I've interviewed Kat, had several conversations with him? Do I know DL on that level? No.
Right. See, when we say family is sacred,
Right.
Family is sacred. And we know that you don't cross the line when it comes to family.
Correct.
Right? I do DL's radio show.
Yes.
DL Hughley is not there. His team is there. And Shannon, we having a great time. I mean, baby, we having a great time. We going forth, back and forth. When we get to the end of the show, they say, Monique, you want to play a game? Well, I want to play. I said, sure, sugar. Let's play a game. And it's a game called Would You Rather.
No.
Okay? Now,
Monique, you should have said I'm too old for this game.
wait a minute. We're having fun, baby. Right? We having a good time,
Okay,
Shannon.
okay.
It's the sister there and there's two other guys. We having a great time. It's a
Okay.
beautiful Black unity cookout.
Okay.
We having a good time.
Okay.
Would you say your wife was your family? Is that considered family?
Yeah.
So your husband is considered family, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So here we go. They said, Monique, we want to play a game of Would You Rather. Let's go. Would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffens without one?
Really, Monique?
Now, as y'all are watching right now who haven't heard this story, y'all going, they doing the same thing in the studio. They going, okay. That is exactly what happened. Now, I said to the team, how does that uplift our community? I said, sister, and her name is Jasmine, how could you ask another sister that? Well, we just planned. I said, tell me the joke in that because I don't know what you're insinuating. Then you're involving people that have nothing to do with nothing. Like, what are y'all doing? So I said, I'm going to call my brother, D.L. I'm going to call my brother. I call D.L. Hughley on the phone. I say, hey, baby, yeah.
Huh?
That's how he responds. Yeah.
Did he know it was you?
Yes, because they called him to let him know Monique's going to be calling. Like, this, it was getting crazy.
Right.
I'm like, just let me get on the phone with my brother, right?
Yeah.
Hey, DL, yeah. I said, listen, I just got off the phone with your team, and they wanted to play this game, Would You Rather? And it was like, stupid. Like, asked me about my husband and Lee Daniels and Corinne Steffens, and his exact words, well, that's how we do it. I said, DL, how does that uplift our community? And again, I don't know what y'all trying to insinuate, but brother, what you doing? Like I said, that's just how we do it. So it is what it is. Now, it got so ugly that my attorney had to send a cease and desist. So it never aired. So we have, like, when Cat Williams talk and people, truth tellers talk, we have receipts to everything we're saying. That's how that whole thing got started, okay? It's family. My husband is my family.
Yeah.
Now, you babies that are really good with this internet, through the years, I've watched DL speak ill of me. Through the years. I never knew DL Hughley had a problem with me. But when Cass said they all a group, he forgot to put DL Hughley in the group. Mm-hmm. Through the years, I was bitter. I was dangerous with what I was doing, saying that it was inequality. My husband didn't know what he was doing. This went on through the years. I was unloved, all of these things. And I said to myself, I'ma see you. I'ma see you. I didn't go on nobody's show. I didn't say nothing to nobody, but I knew the time would come that I would see him. We were scheduled to do a show in Los Angeles. I was the headliner of that show. His name was on it, then his name came off. I didn't question it, but I knew I'ma see him, right?
Eventually.
Okay, now we have a show in Detroit. Contractually, I was the headliner. D.L. Hughley posted a memo. Now, when you signed your deal for the Ravens, did you sign a contract or a memorandum?
I signed the contract.
You see how you say that? Like anybody that knows good business, you sign. The memo was saying this is what I would like,
Right.
but the contract is saying this is what it is. Okay?
Yes.
He put out a memo to our community, and that touched me a little different because I was saying, why would you lie to our babies? Because now they're thinking if they send somebody a memo, that's what they're supposed to get. Okay? I was contractually signed to go as the headline.
Right. I mean, you go laugh.
D.L. Hughley didn't come into the building until 9:30. Now, contractually, I said I had to be on stage by 9:30 because if the show starts at 8, I refuse to keep an audience waiting.
Right.
That is disrespectful to the audience.
Correct.
When I went out on that stage, Shannon, I made sure everything I said, he heard me. Because now you're here and I'm going to say it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said some things on that stage that I said he was cowardly. And some folks said, how could you say that? How could you do that? And then I posted some things to say, this is what I meant. See, you came after my husband. And when you had a chance to fix it, when you had a chance to say, Mo, my bad, you know, we don't even get down like that.
Right.
You told me it is what it is. And until he's brave enough and courageous enough to say, this is what really happened, y'all. Y'all have never known me to be no shit starter. Folks ain't never known me to go over and kick a sandwich out of somebody's hand that's hungry. But what people do know is, if you kick me, damn if I ain't gonna kick you back.
Right.
Because that's fair play.
Right.
So there was one left out the pack. And when you have people that continually don't take accountability, that's why you see us in the state of affairs we're in.
I'm a firm believer, Mo, that everybody don't play the same. And someone once told me, what is joke to you is death to someone else.
What is joke? That's why we don't play with people's families.
No.
When we had the Monique show, the radio show, listen, you can't come on here and speak ill of no one because we don't play like that because we know how this business works.
Right.
So when you allow that to happen, what do you think is going to come back your way? What do you think? And D.L. Hughley, please, no, brother, we still love you. Just take accountability for it. And we move forward.
I remember reading something about the situation in Detroit. I didn't know the depth of the magnitude of it. I remember reading something about a memo about, I guess it's an addendum that was added on, but the contract is the contract.
The contract is the contract. And what happens is because of the messenger, it was easy to pile on.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy to pile on. And then when you have some of our black folk that go sit in front of a white man and speak ill of their people, I'm like, y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we coming to that we're going to sit in front of this white man? I can't even say his name. I refuse. Everybody know who he is. We sit in front of him and we just let this man say any and everything about us, and then we go right in with him. That to me is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all babies that's good with this little computer, don't take my word. You can just go through the years of this cat just running his mouth. Mm-hmm. And it's like, stop doing that, because what are we saying to the babies coming behind us?
Wow. Okay, so I'm laying out all the information for you guys. You will have an opportunity to call in to share your thoughts on this Mo'Nique interview and the fallout since then from Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay here on YouTube and on all podcast platforms. You will be able to also take this live show on the go by subscribing to our podcast, Kempire, on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. So she said this on her recent interview with Shannon Sharpe, Club Shay Shay. Then D.L. had this response. So let me just play for you quickly, but I have to change something because his original response had a lot of cussing in it. So I have to switch it out. Let me just switch out the original one that I had. Hold on, y'all. Hold on one second. Here it is. Okay, hold on.
Shay Shay is getting messier. Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a weight set. So Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something. Or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got Captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host, Jasmine Sanders, played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that she said she got off, she called me. Mo'Nique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Mo'Nique's a liar. When Mo'Nique did call me, I heard her complaints, I listened to her, and I pulled the segment. So if I had been as dismissive as she alleges I was, that segment would have aired. It didn't, because I respected her wishes. She's a liar. It also befuddles the shit out of me how somebody who, as a comedian, talks as much shit about everybody else as she does, she has the temerity to be offended about anything, as much shit as you say about people. Then she encouraged everybody, allegedly it stems from the fact that I used to always talk shit about her on video after video, and she encouraged her sweet babies to look at the video and find them. Do that. Do exactly what she says. And you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find any evidence of that, because Mo'Nique is a fucking liar. She's lying about that. But what you will find is Mo'Nique talking shit about some alleged contract dispute we had. Look at the ticket. It says D.L. Hughley, then Mo'Nique. She knows the story. But what she did in response to that, she talked about my dog, my wife. This broad even brought out my daughter's personal trauma. My daughter was, then Mo'Nique bought that shit out and told the world that I allowed my daughter to be raped in front of me. The lying mother. She knows she was lying. And it only stopped when everybody from my family checked her. It's interesting. You know what else you won't see Mo'Nique doing? You won't ever see her with her family, videos with her children or grandchildren. Because nobody fucks with me. How do you have sweet babies when your own babies don't fuck with you? How do you love us for real when there's no evidence of anybody loving you for real, except your daddy, who you apparently have to pay? And FYI, daughters are paid for by daddies, not daddies who get paid by their daughters. You know what else you won't see Mo'Nique doing? Telling jokes. Mo'Nique, if she just spends as much time actually writing jokes and writing her Netflix special as she did complaining about not having one, it wouldn't have been trash. It got the worst reviews of any Netflix special in history. Because that's what Mo'Nique does. She complains and she has grievances. You never see her being a human being. You never see her being sweet and warm to people. Except when she's using it to butter somebody up to get something. There's a reason why everywhere she goes, she starts. Everywhere she goes. How is it that nobody with you, not even your family? How do you, or I was on the road, get it. I get it every goddamn week. Look at my schedule versus yours. See how much I'm going. And I still manage to have a relationship that I cherish with my children. Can you say the same? You can't. Because all you do is talk about your grievances and who did you wrong. There's a reason you're by yourself. There's a reason you got to pay a man to love you. It's sad. There's an old adage that says you can't buy love. It's a shame, Monique, that you probably always will have to.
So that was D.L's response to Mo'Nique's Club Shay Shay interview. All right. So I want to flash back because, as you know, he mentioned in this response that Mo'Nique had brought up his daughter's trauma. And I did a separate video talking about this, and I even showed you a flashback to the original video that I did on this story. So Mo'Nique, back after she received a lot of backlash in regards to bringing up his daughter's trauma, and even his eldest daughter came out and slammed Mo'Nique for her comments. All right, we talked about that in the video that I did this week as well. So this is what she originally said on an Instagram Live with Deity. I just have to say it.
Let's have this conversation, please. Earlier today, we did a post. And we did a post with D.L. Hughley having a conversation about how his daughter was violated from a really good friend of his. And at the time, he didn't say anything because he didn't want to jeopardize that relationship with the really good friend, and he didn't believe his daughter. We posted that. And then we left a caption under that, pretty much saying, if that black man couldn't put any protection around his own daughter, we know we have nothing coming. Now, once we posted that, the reason why I said, Daddy, can we go do a live? Because I was reading the comments on the timeline. And most of them are from black women. And they're saying, Monique, what does this have to do with your contract? What does this have to do? You're going too far. What does this have to do with your contract? Let me tell you what it has to do with my contract. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. It has nothing at all to do with my contract. What it has to do with is the character of the man named D.L. Hughley. That's what this has to do with. And let me acknowledge, D.L. Hughley did apologize. He said he apologized. And y'all are saying, Monique, he owned his mistake. Let me say this to you. Though he owned it, it does not erase the trauma. And when we talk about the character of the individual, for years, D.L. Hughley has given his commentary and his opinion on other people's lives, not just mine, for years. And he would give the ins and outs. Oh, we sorry, baby.
Get those landscapers, please. This is a flashback, though, guys, to their IG response.
So let me address it. When y'all are asking me, is it okay to re-traumatize his daughter? Listen, y'all, let's stop playing this game. There's nothing I could say or do to re-traumatize that baby because the trauma has already set in. However, if we speak it out loudly and we say it to our community, maybe the next baby won't have to deal with the goddamn trauma. See, when I made that post, it was intentional. It was intentional. It was intentional.
And let me say this too. When we speak about the character, we don't know D.L. Hughley in the totality to speak about his character, but what we know is about his actions. So what we can say reasonably and factually is that when you have a man that said, essentially, that he didn't do right by his daughter, that seemed to me that it would create a level of humility that you wouldn't go after other people so vehemently in the manner that you do. So that's the moment when humility steps in and say, I have my own demons to deal with. So moving forward, the way in which I approach and go after people, I will not. You see, when Monique went on his show trying to support her friend at that time, D.L., and she was asked, would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels without a condom or Corinne Steffens with a condom? That is a violation of a woman's whole position, because you're violating this black woman as you are violating your community, because you're trying to point out this is a person who is this man and this woman here, and there are implications surrounding both of them that are unsaid, which is why he chose them. But now, like many sisters who have seemingly Stockholm syndrome, you've been captured and fallen in love with the captor that's violating you. Because if you're protecting an individual that said, I didn't do right by my daughter, and you're hearing a black woman saying, I went on his show as a friend, but he didn't do right by me, what do you guys think you have coming? What do you ladies think that you have coming? When black men or men tell you that you look like something is wrong, the reason why many of you, something is wrong, because you suffer in silence.
And please, Daddy, let me address something. When I hear y'all saying mind your business, did you say the same shit to D.L. when he talks about everybody's business? See, I didn't put D.L.'s baby out there. It's an interview that's out there. D.L. told the story. What I did was posted the story to say, look at the character of the man. And that's...
Look at the actions.
The actions of the man. See, what happens is, y'all, when you listen to this man speak so much about Kanye West and how he's stalking this woman and all that he's doing, and didn't understand that man was trying to protect his babies. You spoke, and if you did that to my daughter, I would do something about it. Well, you're talking with a full tongue because something was done to your baby.
And when people said, oh, do you speak for all black women? Don't speak for all black women. she's speaking as a black woman for the trauma that black women had. For those of them who connect with it, you connect with it. Because the message that we're giving today is not for everyone. The message that we're trying to share today are for those individuals that are tired of being enslaved.
What do you think about the whole thing with his son? And
I think
really,
his son is a child.
he's what, 13?
I don't care what he is. He can't go to the movie without permission.
Right. He can't see a PG-13.
I'm not feeling ready to, motherfucker, look, I get it. I'm never going to make you feel unwelcome in your home that you were raised in.
Yeah.
You are my son and I love you.
Right.
You can't fucking drive. If the very same thing, if I left you at home by yourself at 13 years old, I would go to jail.
Yeah. And, like, I don't know about the rest of the world, but I was not sexually active at 13. You were.
Of course. Of course. I wasn't active as I would like to be. But
Right.
I just
Most 13-year-olds are not sexually active. So how can you really know your sexuality before you're really sexually active?
I don't know. But I think that people are, listen, I get it. I get that I don't ever want my children, I would never want a child to feel the way I felt growing up and go through the things I went through as you know, the parent-child dynamic. I would never want that to be the case. But I also ain't getting ready to pick up your banner and make things okay that aren't. I'm still going to make you, I'm going to try to get you through this thing with as little damage as possible. I'm not feeling ready to fucking dye my hair. I'm not going to call you you can't even be called anything because it would be illegal for you to take what you needed to transition. It would be illegal for you to do it. You couldn't find a doctor.
At 13, you can't transition.
That's exactly.
You gotta be 18, right?
You right. Hey, motherfucker, till you.
Right.
And honestly, I'm insulted by the idea that all it takes is a doctor and some pills to make you who you are. Women aren't that way because they are just of their female anatomy. It's a whole hormonal and wiring and nurturing thing. So I'm not willing. I don't think anybody should be discriminated against because of who they feel like they are or what they believe. But I also don't think they're exempt from ridicule. Hey, motherfucker, you feel like you're a chick? I got some great jokes about that. You don't get to be exempt from that. How I let a man touch my child, which nothing could be further from the truth. They were both 13 years old. They were friends that had grown up together. And this is something I lament to this day. Denied that she. I said, well, you know, that's what kids do. And I will never forgive myself for not, A, believing her, and B, handling it the way I did. But for Monique, A, to put a man in that room, which never happened, and B, to bring up sexual trauma in an argument that has nothing to do with what you're talking about, is unconscionable. My daughter Tyler addressed it, my daughter Ryan addressed it with her in a letter. And the thing that I was most proud about in the letter is not only that she held her head high because she's supposed to. The other thing is she said there are legitimate things you could have gone after my father about because my children know exactly who I am. They know that I'm not perfect. They know that I'm flawed. And none of them would have a problem with you assailing things that are really true. But you and your husband putting a man in my daughter's room when that is not what I said and weaponizing it and using in a trite argument shows exactly how low you are.
Okay, so I'm giving you the history that has gone on in regards to this beef. I can't even call it beef at this point, between Mo'Nique and D.L. Hughley. All right. So Monique, after D.L. posted that, Instagram post in response to her Club Shay Shay interview, went on Instagram Live with Daddy. Sorry, that's what she calls him. I forget his real name at this point. Went on Instagram Live. And as I said to you, I hope you grab the snack, buckle up, because I'm laying out all of the information from both sides. I can't get to everything. We've covered this D.L. Hughley and Monique situation for the last almost 2 years at this point. Go Google schmoogle some of everything that we covered during this story. I'm just giving you a little bit of the history, okay? So she went on Instagram Live just the other day, with Daddy to talk about this?
We did. We're going to wait for y'all to come on in, my babies. We ain't done this in a long time.
We ain't done it in a long time.
We ain't done it in a long time.
They're so proud of themselves.
Look, y'all don't even understand why we smiling so hard, because we was able to get it set up. We was able to push the button. Hey, come on now. We want you babies to come on in here. First of all, how y'all doing?
Let me see if I can.
Life and life.
Mo'Nique saying that there was a cease and desist that was given to DL to shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
What had taken place, to be accurate, was after Mo'Nique spoke to Brother DL on that conversation, Brother DL said, what?
Well, after we spoke on that conversation, when we hung up that phone, the last thing he said was, it is what it is. And I said, DL, then we're going to have to get our attorney involved. That's the last thing me and DL Hughley said on that conversation.
And after having that conversation with Monique, we went and got our attorney involved, Attorney Anderson. At the time, there were some emails that were transferred back and forth between his side and our side, and it escalated to a point when we had our attorney on the email, whereby then finally DL said that he would scratch the interview.
Yes.
So it was inaccurate that a cease and desist had to be given. However, that was the next step, and that's what Monique remembered, because when I discussed it with her, we said that would be the next step. But to DL's credit, at that moment, when it had escalated, that's when he decided to shut it down. However, that is a bit different from how it seemed to have been communicated, whereby on the phone, they were having a conversation and it was kumbaya. Though he never used those words, kumbaya, it did not end with her being under the impression that this was going to be resolved and shut down. So we wanted to make that clear out of love and respect for Brother DL. And despite all the commentary that he gave, with all the crunches she be doing, the captain's in the front.
I do.
And
I do.
Tell me.
I'm a sneak snacker, baby.
And she doesn't sneak when she snacks.
Okay. Hey.
But nonetheless, we wanted to be clear, because at the end of the day, we black folks in this world of entertainment. And there was a level of harshness in his return that seemed a little bit exaggerated for the moment. And we wanted to make it clear, and I think Monique can do it best when she speaks in reference to what she meant while talking about DL in the past.
You know, when I watched DL say, she went after my wife, she went after my daughters, I want to really be clear who I went after, so that there's no confusion here. When I was on stage, when I'm on stage and we're performers, we are performing to the audience in front of us. When I was on that stage and I said, it must be hard to perform oral sex.
But differently.
Okay, on a coward. That had nothing to do with Mrs. Hughley. That insult was directed straight to you, DL. That had nothing to do with your wife. That was straight to you. So it felt like you were trying to pass it off as if I was going after your wife. When it comes to your daughter, to the baby that you did a post about, you did an interview about, I didn't do that interview. I simply reposted what you said. So when you say, Monique, you went after my daughter, that's untrue, DL. I posted what you said. And then when you said when you were really going for it with your shades on, and you said, Monique said, I stood by and watched my daughter be raped. DL Hughley, that's your conscience talking to you, brother. I never said that. I never said that. And I want to be a little clear about something else. Never would I try to do anything to harm any of your babies, because we got babies too. So never would I try to do anything to harm your children. However, what I was saying to your daughter and to the other daughters out there, I know what it's like for your daddy to know you've been touched and he not protect you, because my daddy did the same thing. That's what that whole point was, but I was showing why I would call you a coward, brother. I don't think it's brave that you didn't protect your baby. So when I said what I was saying, let me be clear to you, D.L. Hughley, it had nothing to do in reference to your family, and you know that. Now, when you were speaking and you were going off and you said, what did you say? She was so offended by the game we play, but you didn't say what the offense was. And that's the part for me that is disheartening, that you continue to try to trick and smoke and mirror our people. If you're going to say it all the way through. When you say family is sacred, you are absolutely right, baby. You're right. But when you say would my husband rather, and you co-sign your team of people doing that, well, isn't my husband sacred? So you got to be careful in your words, because the very words you use, DL, they're going to come back, and they're coming back to bite you, baby. And what I also said on Club Shay Shay, when I looked in that camera, I said, DL, I love you, brother. And I don't know if you didn't hear that part, but we really do. We love you, brother. And if ever you get courageous enough to want to have a conversation, we're always open to it, because doing that, it shows how our community can get better. When you're wrong, as we have said to you, hey, brother, we apologize for that one.
Yeah, incorrect on the cease and desist. And I want to add one more thing. When you spoke in reference to your daughter being a reason why Monique stopped speaking about it, what you don't even understand, out of love for you, see, you can have a problem with your brother, but you're not going to take it out on the kids. And we respected the fact that she tried to defend you, but we got 3 big-ass sons. That if we were to think about it in the same way that she thought about it, what would that be? But out of love for you, we're not going to go after your child trying to protect the father that she loves. But one could argue, based upon what you said about yourself, had you exhibited the same type of love and protection for your other daughter that your other daughter tried to exhibit towards you, there never would have been the commentary that you made about yourself. And I liken it to Brother Corey Holcomb, who I don't know, but I got a lot of respect for him because I heard him say something in an interview. He spoke about how Earthquake's son had came to one of his shows, and the young man was hesitant about introducing himself or reintroducing himself because of the rift between his father and himself. And Brother Corey was like, come on, man, no, you come over here and I'm going to give you love, because that was between your father and I. And it made him reconsider the whole thing and reach back out to an old friend. In my humble opinion, that's what real men do. We come from the old school. We not going to have no problem with your children because we love them and we love you and we want y'all to win. Not at the expense of the community, though, being demeaned in order to get followers. But from the standpoint of if we come together, we're going to win just by default. So at the end of the day, when you get to talking about how Monique is not loved and this and the other, that's your perception. But what I'll say is it is due to the love that we have that we're able to love those that say things that could be construed as hurtful, but we understand that the old saying of hurt people. So we don't take what you say personally, brother. And again, it's nothing but love, in addition to the fact I'm Q-Sci-Fi. Just like you, except I've been in about 29 going on 30 years. I'm not going to argue with you, frat. Ain't nothing but love. So we wanted to extend that to you and let you know what it is. And again, if you ever want to speak, let's have a real conversation. But people needed to know where the confrontation on stage began, and it was from that day.
It was from that day. And once you own that day, DL, guess what, baby? We'll be good. Now, talking about we gonna be good.
Talking about we gonna be good and talking about taking ownership.
So they're about to talk about the Breakfast Club because, as you know, they had that. You've probably seen the meme of this interview that Mo'Nique did on the Breakfast Club where she walked out with Leonard, a.k.a. Charlemagne. So Charlemagne gave himself Donkey of the Day. They have since apologized to Mo'Nique. For those that are just joining us in regards to this, we are laying out the beef that has existed between DL and Mo'Nique, but we're also talking about the interview that Mo'Nique did on Club Shay Shay where she slammed Tyler Perry, Will Packer. She dropped the receipts in regards to the trailers that blew up when she was filming Almost Christmas, which I love. And I love her in it. So just saying that. Just like, look, I'm wearing my twerking on the fence shirt. And based off the comment section, I see how divided, how everyone is feeling in regards to this topic, which is why I twerk on the fence when it comes to it. Because I can see truths on both sides. Should you be bringing up his daughter's trauma? No. Did she go through what she went through in Hollywood? Probably, because we have countless other women after Taraji came out this past couple of months saying, yes, this has happened. Back to this, though. So, as I said before, in regards to this, in this Club Shay Shay interview, she slammed Tyler Perry. Go listen to my podcast because I really give you my initial reactions to this 3-hour interview that she did. She talked about Will Packer. She dropped the receipts in regards to the blown up trailers. All right. She also talks about Oprah Winfrey and why she thinks the beef between her and Oprah started. If you've been following this drama, you already kind of know she had her brother that, I can't say all the things here, but, did things to her when she was younger on the Oprah show. She claims that Oprah called her and she's like, you know what, you can have him on the show, only to find out her mom was also on that episode. They've dropped the receipts in regards to that time her brother was on the Oprah show. All right. So she's had a few different issues, including she accuses Oprah of taking parts that were offered to her, like the role in The Butler, the role in, I believe it was, I can't think of the name of the movie, but it was another movie. She claims that Oprah came in and took those parts from her. All right. Do I actually have that clip? I think I do actually have that clip somewhere, but again, this is a long live, so I'm just giving you some of the brief. If I could show you every single detail, guys, we will be here for the rest of the night. And I know you guys don't have that kind of time. If you're just joining us and if you're new to the channel, hello. Hello. Don't forget, you can take us on the go by downloading our podcast, Kempire. We will be making a podcast version of this, so you can take us on the go. But if you're a part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts on the Club Shay Shay interview that Mo'Nique did and the fallout since then. There is some good news. From this interview. Congratulations to Mo'Nique. She will be a part of Cat Williams' tour, the Dark Matter Tour. All right. So be sure to check that out. I believe she has actually a New York date coming up here with Cat Williams. We're going to talk about Cat Williams again, and then we got to talk a little bit about the hypocrisy in regards to how people reacted to the Cat Williams interview versus how they're reacting to the Mo'Nique interview. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to play the rest of this where they talk about the Breakfast Club.
I want to talk to my babies at the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club. I want to talk to my babies at the Breakfast Club. Listen, oftentimes people don't know what a genuine apology will do. They don't even understand. It allows us to say, we accept that apology and we move forward, because today, y'all own that. Today, Charlemagne, today, Envy, y'all own that. And I want to speak to my baby, Jess Hilarious.
Come on.
I want to speak to you, little sister. And let me speak to DJ and Leonard first. Okay, because I can't I'm not going to do the nicknames. She's a beautiful asset sitting in that seat. Mm-hmm. And she's going to bring something very special to that show. And I know the community is agreeing with what I'm saying right now, because what that sister did when she sat in that seat, she was able to get y'all to see something and understand something that nobody could get you to see for years. For years. And just that baby sitting there with nothing but honesty and said, no, we got to deal with this, y'all. We got to deal with this, y'all. You don't understand what that baby's bringing to that show. Because what she's not going to be bringing is, let's knock down, drag them out. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And because you babies owned it and you apologize.
We love you. And we loved you then. Not mad. And want y'all to win.
That's all. That's all. So if we start pumping out that positivity into our community, if we start speaking about the greatness that we are and the greatness that we're doing, guess what's going to happen? Now, do we still have to bring some to the mat and ring the doorbell ding dong? Yes, we do. But we don't love them no less. Because at any given time, we could be brought to the mat. Ding dong.
Well, we make it a point of not messing with people that's not messing with us. And we hope that today for you guys, the feeling that Charlemagne got, Brother Leonard received from the community by big upping him for apologizing. It's kind of like a movie we used to watch with the kids called Monsters, Inc., where they would go and they would scare the people for power. But then they found out laughter created more power. Y'all have the power to heal. Use it. Use it to heal. Use it to help folks. Don't hurt folks. Because what happens is, one of the greatest gifts we can have is going in our community and getting the love from our people. Forget Holly weird, because it's weird. Getting the love from our people. So we are proud of you, and I'm emotional about it because I'm happy that y'all got an opportunity to do that for yourselves. And we love y'all, brothers and sisters. And just hilarious, keep that going. Keep that going, because you are a great addition. Because there were others that would have sat in that seat and would not have said a word. So,
not the shade. Look, not the shade towards Angela Yee. That's who they talking about. Ooh, Angela, they got you, Angela. They got you. All right. I got to watch the rest of that because then they start fumbling and stuff like that. I wanted to give you some context. We don't have all night. I want to play. This is part of the reason why we're doing our TGIF live. We talked about a couple of other stories, but we have to talk about DL's next response, his updated response in regards to the IG live that they did, that Monique and Daddy did. Okay? So this is what DL had to say.
All right, I'm taking time to respond to Monique again. She made another greasy-ass video with her daddy. We kind of relitigating some of the stuff she said on Club Shay Shay, where she talked about how she was on the show and somebody, they played a game, Would You Rather? And I guess she felt like they insulted her husband's sexuality, which is interesting because she can always talk shit about everybody else's sexuality. But I guess her husband's sacrosanct. He's off limits. But a hit dog will bark unless his mouth is full. But she talked about, well, she didn't actually call her lawyer. Who the fuck would be afraid of your lawyer? Your lawyer, you mean the lawyer that did your contract? That lawyer, the lawyer from the firm of Negro, from Ghetto, Got Him and Gone, that lawyer? Who the fuck afraid of him? He couldn't get your name right on the ticket. He gonna get it right on a legal document. It didn't happen because we decided it shouldn't happen. You didn't need to, because we respect people. We don't have to do things for clicks. They took it off because you asked me to, because I respected you at the time. You also talked about how I disrespect you on so many platforms, But you have this impeccable memory where you can tell to the degree, well, who did what to you and why and what happened, where you were, but you can't pull up one time on any platform that I said anything about you at all because you know you're lying. You got that piece of paper and that big ass memory, but you can't pull one up. My biggest mistake is saying yes to you. I should have said no when you couldn't come on my radio show. I should have said no that I wasn't playing those dates with you. As a matter of fact, almost anybody who says yes to you at some point is in this milieu with you. Almost anybody. So I would suggest anybody out there, you can say yes to drugs, but say no to Monique. You talked about how my children, families are uplifted. They weren't when you were running across Vegas. The stage in Detroit. They weren't when you talking shit on social media. When you got your ass whipped and your tickets dropped, then they became off limits. But let's do this. Let's decide that you will treat my children like you treat yours, like you don't know them, invisible, like you have no relationship with them, like you're estranged. You're unfamiliar, like you don't know them. You also intimated that I was a coward. You know what I'd never do? I would never let my woman take care of me. I would never let my woman get evicted from her apartment. I would never let my woman have to ask another man for money. I'd never do that. Can your old man say the same? He loves you. Of course, he got to say that. You claim him on your taxes. He's a dependent. He's sitting there with you right now. And everything. Because it ain't like he does anything else. But you never address the salient point. I said that if you spent as much time writing your Netflix special as you did arguing about getting it, it wouldn't have been trash. It was. I didn't say it. I defy anybody out there. Stop listening to me. Watch it. Read the reviews. Read the reviews. You begged for something. You made valid points that women are underpaid, that they're not valued. That's absolutely right. So you would think that when you got a chance to do something that you could argue for, you'd be up for the challenge, but you shit the bed. Because you never are ready for it. Because all you ever do is complain about what you don't have. You're never ready for the moment because you're always living in the past. I said it. If you spend half of your time doing as opposed to talking about who didn't do for you and what they did for you, you'd be a lot further along. You wouldn't be evicted. You wouldn't be working for your man. You wouldn't be asking other comics for money. So you got all the ingredients. Take that piece of paper that you're running down a list with, and that pen that you got, and that daddy sitting next to you, and do what you can't do what you never do. Write a fucking joke.
Oh, damn! It's a lot of cussing here. Y'all know I don't cuss. Everybody just cussing. Lord. Okay. A couple of things to unpack from that. Mo did open up about some struggles that she had financially because she has been blackballed in the industry. So I'm not surprised that she had been evicted. She even talked about her her relationship falling out with Kevin Hart and admitted that Kevin at one point had given her money. She says that she had paid that money back with interest. She talked about that. But I have to ask you guys this question because I've seen Monique recently here in New York City do stand-up. It's not your typical stand-up. It's not the stand-up from the Queens of Comedy. It's different. It's almost like storytelling. But I also watched her Netflix special. I always feel like everyone has a difference of opinion in regards to comedy. You either like a comedian or you don't. You either like their approach to comedy or you don't. But I want to ask you guys, because we have, 2,000 of you watching on multiple platforms. Did you watch the Mo'Nique Netflix special? And what did you think of it? If you had to rate it from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? Honestly, look, unlike Queens of Comedy, I will point this out. Queens of Comedy, I've watched multiple times. She talks about the Queens of Comedy and why we haven't gotten another Queens of Comedy since. The business was bad, allegedly, according to her. Like her first check didn't clear. All right. And she also talked about the mistreatment of how the Kings of Comedy were treated versus how the Queens of Comedy were treated. All right. They got Rolexes, the Kings of Comedy. She says she's still waiting on hers. But if you guys had to rate her Netflix special from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? Honestly, like I said, I watched the Queens of Comedy so many times. I didn't go back to watch Monique's comedy special. I didn't hate it because it kind of reminded me of what I saw when she was here in New York. I think she is a very funny woman. I also think she's a very talented actress. but I haven't gone back to watch it. But you know that Wanda Sykes special? Wanda, I think it was the last one that Wanda did on Netflix. I think it was the Netflix one that she did. Yeah, it was the Netflix one that she did. I watched that a couple of times. But again, I always say with comedy, you either like someone or you don't. But I usually like Mo'Nique's comedy. I watch her part of Queens of Comedy so many times. See, Yolanda says, I did not watch. I do not think she is funny. Conchita says, I wasn't interested in watching. Some of the ratings in here are like, damn. I'm like, damn. Guys, we will be taking some callers in just a moment. In just a moment, we're talking about the Mo'Nique interview. We did a special episode, my initial reactions to the Mo'Nique interview on Club Shay Shay on the Kempire podcast. So if you missed it, go listen to that because I talk about a bunch of other things, including Oprah. I talk about the Kevin Hart aspect. I talk about my initial reactions. And I do twerk on a fence. For those that are new here, I do twerk on a fence when it comes to this topic. I do. I admit it. Mama Allie, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, Kim, do you want timestamps today? Yes, please. Look, yes, please. You know, for the people that are listening. Ty, thank you so much for the super chat. Ty says, thanks for the dive into the brouhaha between Mo and DL. What a mess. A long time no see, Kempire. Hey, thank you so much for the support. Guys, you can also support the channel just by liking the video. Miss R&D Diva, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, just because I love your channel and your energy, see you on the 16th. Yay, guys, I will be in DC. It's sold out. I mean, if you can, I don't know if they're selling it on another place where you get those tickets, but we are sold out for our February 16th show in Washington, D.C. Today, our tickets went on sale for Philly. So if you weren't able to make it to the D.C. show, but you live in an area close by and you want to come see me on March 7th, more information is available in the description of this video. And if you're listening to this, it will be available in the episode notes of the podcast. All right. Okay. All right. So here's where I'm going to twerk on a fence again, because, you know, a lot of people are speaking out. They have their opinions. And I know you have your opinions. If you're a member, I've already dropped the call-in link for our senior royals. So Stephen A. Smith. Did you guys see what Stephen A. Smith had to say about Mo'Nique in her interview? Well, let me play it for you.
Monique, she's brilliant. She's an Oscar winner. She's sensational. What she did in Precious, her phenomenal acting career, her comedic genius. Monique, I don't know if anybody said this to you, but I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to say it to you out of love. You always say sisters or brothers when you're talking to black people. Well, this is a brother talking to you, Monique. You look very bitter. You look like the light has been stripped from you. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to call you a liar or anything like that. I don't know. I never asked Steve Harvey or Kevin Hart or anybody or Tyler Perry or Oprah Winfrey and all of this other stuff. I never asked. I don't know. But I know that you're telling stories about Oprah. I'm not saying false stories. I don't know. But you're telling one thing about Oprah. You're telling another thing about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry leaves you a voice message reportedly, and you're airing the message. Well, how can somebody feel comfortable enough ever talking to you if they think that their messages are going to be disseminated to the masses when it was supposed to be a private conversation? You talked about Kevin Hart and how you were supposed, he said, I love you, sister, we'll talk in 2 weeks. And then after that, you never heard from him again. Okay. Did you play any role in that? I'm just asking. Did you? I don't know. But when you bring these kind of things up, and you talk about Oprah, I'm quite sure Oprah ain't perfect. I'm quite sure there are an abundance of people, black, white, and beyond, that have had issues with things that Oprah has done that have negatively affected them. But we all know how much positive Oprah generated for so many of us, because she showed us the way in so many ways about how to excel in this industry and in life. Does it have to be that bad? Even after all this time? It's just a question. Something that I want you to think about. Shannon Sharpe had Monique and Cat Williams. I'm not looking for those interviews to interrupt his shine. He get his shine, I'll get mine. But that's my dude. And if he comes across as doing something wrong or doing something that people feel that I should be compelled to comment on, that's why I chose to comment. That's my position. I hope y'all can understand and respect it. And if you don't.
Okay, question. Isn't Stephen A. Smith, I don't know the sports, but isn't he a sportscaster? But let me tell you something. This is why I twerk on a fence. Because I heard this, and then because we literally just had the Cat Williams interview, and I'm thinking to myself, well, did you call Cat Williams bitter? Did anyone call Cat Williams bitter? So, although there are things in what he's saying I can see, okay, in regards to talking about other black celebrities and things like that. But it's very interesting to me because some of the things that Cat Williams said, and I said this when I recapped the Cat Williams interview, I didn't take everything that Cat Williams said as fact or truth. I didn't love everything that he said. There were a few things that he said that were very nasty and disgusting and derogatory. One thing I will say about Monique's interview, because you didn't call Cat bitter, she was just talking about her truth, her experience. We don't know if it's truth or fact or whatever it may be, but she's talking about her experience. All right? But I didn't hear you call Cat bitter. And this is why people always say, like, you treat black women very differently. And although I don't always agree with everything that Monique has said or done, or even in this interview, when I saw this clip, I said to myself, well, did you call Cat bitter? Because if you did, then I'd be like, okay. But all right. Justice says Cat is bitter. But I'm asking if Stephen A. Smith, the sportscaster, is he a sportscaster? He's a journalist. We'll just say he's a journalist so he can. But is his show about hot topics? I don't watch. So I don't want to be ignorant because, I don't watch sports. But is this a segment in his show? Is this a segment in the show? Let me know. Let me know, please. I'm just asking a question. If you don't realize, if you're listening to this, I'm wearing my twerking on a fence shirt. That's what twerking on a fence is. I can see too many sides of the situation. And some of you are like, Kempire, you need to pick a side. No, I don't. I don't know these people. I was not there when Monique had the experience with these people. I wasn't there when Cat Williams had this experience with the people. I can only react to what they have shared with us on the internet. All right? Look, I'm tired already. Damn. All right. So I posted I think I've shared everything that I wanted to talk about, right? Yes. For those that may have missed it, I did talk about when Monique brought up Tiffany Haddish. I've talked about the DL original part of the story last year. And of course, this week I posted about his first response to Mo. So be sure to check those out if you missed it. I've already been live for almost an hour and a half. So I have opened up the call-in link for our members on our community tab here on YouTube. So if you're a member of the channel, you will have first access to the call-in link. The callers are backstage. For those that are listening, says I'm going to keep the callers in for the TGIF live podcast version. Okay, we don't normally do that. We're going to keep it in. But so callers, please understand you're calling in of your own free will, and you know that you will be on the podcast. So if you don't want to be heard on the pod, you're calling here too. So I'm just saying. But a reminder, the callers and everything that they say do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, our sponsors, YouTube or Google. All right. And they agree not to use derogatory statements, profanity, or anything else derogatory. All right, callers, my members know. Live chat. We will post the call-in link for the live chat once we get to at least 1,000 likes. If we don't get there, it's fine. It's fine. Let me just say thank you. Polo Man, thank you so much for the super chat. Polo Man says, she's never been funny. Oh, waiting on you in Atlanta. Yeah, I will be coming to Atlanta, guys. We will be announcing more significant dates next week in regards to the Kempire After Dark tour. We did announce today that tickets have gone on sale for our March 7th date in Philly. So if you're in Philly or nearby area, and you will be, March 7th, we will be in Philly. Tickets are now on sale. More information is available in the description of this video, or just head on over to City Winery, Philadelphia, and you'll be able to buy tickets for the March 7th tour. If you're a member of the channel, we did post a part of the Kempire After Dark New York City sold out show on our members only here on YouTube. If you'd like to become a member, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. Team Kempire members, you will have it for 12 hours till the morning. Royal Court members, you'll have it for 24 hours. And senior royals, you'll have it indefinitely. All right? All right. Someone says, how come Oprah never claps back? I mean, she's not going to, but Oprah has turned off her comments on Instagram, because she's been getting a lot of backlash since the Taraji stuff. And now, of course, with the Monique stuff, she's kept them off. She's kept off her comments. All right, we're going to get to some callers because it is Friday night and I have a life. As you can see, I have roses behind me. Our proud sponsor of today's live show is Rose Forever, roses that will last up to a year. Up to a year, but you can get a discount. Valentine's Day is on Wednesday, y'all. You still have some time. Head on over to the description for more details on Rose Forever, but don't forget to use the discount code Kempire40 for $40 off. Plus, you can use the discount code Influencer for free worldwide shipping. More information, as I said before, will be available in the description of this video, or if you're listening to this, available in the description notes on the episode. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok behind the scenes. We appreciate you guys being here. Shout out to our King's Guards, because I know it has been a tough for you in this comment section, because everybody has been very split on this conversation. But if you're new here, please understand, respect everyone else's opinion. You don't have to agree with each other, but you don't attack people for their opinions. As I said to you before, this is like one of the rare times where I see a lot of different comments in regards to, Monique was right or Monique was wrong. You don't have to respond to anyone's opinion. You can share your thoughts, but be respectful, because you get kicked out. Just saying. Again, if you are a member of the channel, we've posted a call link on the community tab. We have quite a few members already backstage. Members, we're going to put you on a timer, so please respect the timer. All right? All right. A reminder, the callers have agreed of their own free will to call in and share their thoughts, and they agree not to use profanity. They agree not to be derogatory, and they agree to respect the timer. Okay. All right. Jenna's backstage. We're going to bring up Jenna first. Jenna, what's going on? What are your thoughts on this situation?
Hi, Kempire. How are you this afternoon?
I'm well. How are you?
I am exhausted. I realized in the middle of this live that D.L. Hughley and Monique have made me very tired. This is toxic and a hot mess. And like somebody mentioned in the chat, all this during Black History Month. They should both be ashamed of themselves for very different reasons. So we're just trying to get through a few points because I know we're on a timer. Starting at the top, obviously, we all know that Monique had no business bringing up anything about D.L. Hughley's daughter, especially she should know that in general as a person, as a woman, and as a survivor of abuse. So that was just completely out of pocket. But like they're just throwing slugs at each other at this point, and it's getting crazy. And I think just like the Cat Williams interview, I think a lot of things can be true at the same time. I think there are a lot of truth to the things that she said, and just a lot of things that need to be addressed that should be. And I think she has some of the little bit of the Aunt Viv syndrome through her career. I do believe that some people did lie on her about her being difficult, and that then in turn affected her career. But then she started to act like a monster after that. Like her ego just got bigger, and she just sounded more and more entitled, and she made herself into the person that seemed difficult to work with, just like Janet Hubert kind of seemed like she was acting kind of crazy after she got blackballed. But if she was missing out on a bunch of money, I'd be upset too. But they just need to stop at this point because they all look bad. They all need media training. And I think I'm going to leave it at that and let other people talk.
Thank you, Jenna. Okay. We're going to bring up some more callers. We got Tyler backstage. What's going on, Tyler?
Hi, Kempire.
How are you?
So I just want to say this. Monique, Nene Leakes, Nicki Minaj, myself are all Sagittarius. We always speak out of turn. I feel like Monique is bitter. I do not feel like she's in a situation where her husband does not love her. But I do feel like he shouldn't represent her because that's like you're going to always be more passionate for somebody that you have close ties to. I think that she needs to cut that relationship. And I think it's going to take someone who she respects to tell her that, because she only thinks it's about, he's taking my money, he's doing this. No, he really loves you. So he's going to go hard and is guiding you in the wrong direction, because it's like both of them are fire and they're shooting and shooting. Somebody has to be the calm one. But as far as D.L. Hughley goes, child bye. But Monique was wrong. Monique was very wrong for mentioning his child. But other than that, D.L. Hughley, you have said some of the most horrendous, horrible things about groups of people. So it is what it is. But that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. All right. I love that my members are respecting the timer. My members are respecting the timer. All right, we're going to bring up Nicole next. Hold on. What's going on, Nicole?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah, the whole thing is draining, but I'm glad you put it together. You did a wonderful job at
Thank
it.
you.
I do stand for Monique. Yeah, she said some incorrect things, but at least she taken accountability for it. But I do want to skip over to Stephen A. Smith. Now, I'm a 49er fan, a diehard. I'm a woman that knows sports, played sports throughout college, all of that. So I used to watch Stephen A. Smith a lot with when he used to have his co-host Carrie Champion, but she has her own podcast with Skip Bayless. And I feel like when I used to watch that, he's such a loud over talker. He has issues with strong women. And I feel like because Carrie Champion is the same complexion as Monique, okay, and the way he's barking, like they don't do hot topics on ESPN. The only hot topics they do is football, sports, baseball, golf. That is it. So why are you dipping in this woman's business? And now you're up here being a gatekeeper for Oprah and them. And I love me some Oprah, but what Cat Williams did is showing you that everything that Monique is backing up everything Monique is saying. That's all I have to say.
But
As a sports fan too.
No, but thank you for giving the context, because I don't like to assume. Look, I'm not perfect. I don't
hmm
remember everything, but I was like, I'm pretty sure Stephen A. Smith is in sports. I was like, well, maybe
No,
they
if
do a
you
hot
yeah.
topics.
One thing, Campfire, just one time, just YouTube, it used to be, I forget the name of the show, but just put Carrie Champion and him and Skip Bayless and just look at how, because she was kind of like like the in between, like keeping the guys neutral, but they rarely allowed her to speak. And I noticed that with Stephen A. Smith. He has issues with black, strong women who are outspoken.
Oh,
That's all I'm going to
I'm
say.
glad you called in and gave us context. Thank you so much,
And my
Nicole.
49ers are going to win the Super Bowl.
When is the Super Bowl?
Huh?
When is the
You
Super
said when
Bowl?
it's Sunday. Stop playing because Usher gonna be at halftime. What you were just
Oh, you
talking
mean
about
the Usher
earlier.
concert on Sunday? Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks
but
for calling.
do something about that too on Tuesday. On Tuesday, talk about that. I'm sure you are with the Usher
Oh, of
performance.
course, of course. Thanks,
Okay,
Nicole.
you have a blessed weekend,
You
sweetheart.
too. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
I love it when you guys do that and really give us context, because I wouldn't have known that in regards to Stephen A. Smith. That gave me a lot of like, oh, okay. I'm not saying that it's necessarily 100% true, but it gave me context. She watched it religiously. All right, we're gonna get to some more of our members that are calling in, guys. You're just joining us. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We're taking callers in regards to people's reaction to this Club Shay Shay interview with Monique, but also this battle that has recently sparked between Monique and D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley recently spoke out again in response to the IG live that Monique did with Daddy. Sorry, look, she called him Daddy. Can I call him Daddy? No, I don't want to call him Daddy. Never mind. What's his name? Sydney? I'm gonna call him Sydney. All right, let's bring up I want to call you JJ Sunshine. Janelle, what's going on?
Bonjour, Kempire. I'm at Costco. What's up? How you doing?
Oh,
Let me.
good.
Oh my gosh! I was listening to you as I was shopping, and there's so many people here. They were calling people to get to the front because some craziness happening. But it is Costco. Anyway, let me not waste my time talking about my shopping. First off, I'm like the previous caller. Very much like no, who's Stephen A. Smith. The thing is that I just don't think it has to do with strong black women. Like he be talking like that to like the white women too on ESPN. And the thing is with his podcast, see what the clip you show is from his podcast, and that's where he wants to talk about like the pop culture stuff because he
Oh,
can't talk about the pop culture stuff on ESPN.
okay.
And here's the thing. Now, I'm not going to pick any sides, and I don't blame you for not picking any sides either because everyone has valid points. But one side note, every time that Shannon Sharpe will hold his head down and hold his head, and he would act like he was sad, I said, secretly, I secretly think he was thinking, yo, I'm making so much money. I'm getting so many views. Thank you, Jesus.
How many views does it have
Amen.
now, guys? Let me know in the chat. Sorry, go ahead.
Like, that's what I'm thinking. He's not thinking, oh, it's so sad to see my friends fight. No, you happen that you run all the way to the bank. But I just want to point out, I want to point out one thing because I work in this industry and I'm not going to spill ill will of anybody, but I will say this much. Look at all the infighting. Look at who we pointing fingers at. And everybody else who's not our complexion is looking at us like we're crazy. Because we're all fighting to be the only one. We're all fighting to be the token. I want everybody to take note of that. Like, what we're seeing here is the direct effect of tokenism that this industry has just thrown upon us like it has to be a necessary evil, and it doesn't. We do not have to be the only one. And I want everyone to take note of that because that's what we're seeing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because I've seen it in the industry myself with my own two eyes. That it's like, oh, no, you can only be the only Black one. They won't ever say in those words, but they will say it in a roundabout way. Because guess what? We've seen these other folks of the vanilla variety. They don't be fighting like this with each other. They be keeping that under the table, behind closed doors, because money is green.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Janelle, go get a sample of something for us, okay? At Costco.
I did. I got chili. I got roast beef. I got dip. I got
Oh, so
everything.
you had dinner.
They had chicken taco dip.
Oh.
Chicken taco dip.
Okay.
I went over my time, so I don't want to take away time, but I'm going to go enjoy myself at Costco.
Please do. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. I did want to point this out. I talked about this in the podcast. Again, guys, my initial reaction to this Club Shay Shay and Mo'Nique interview is available on the podcast. The visual version, I will post on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to that, be sure to subscribe. God forbid anything happens over here. All right? Because you just never know with these YouTube people. All right? Make sure that you subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, our backup channel, but also where we post visual versions of special episodes that we do for the podcast. Okay? You can find the link available on our YouTube channel here, Kempire. All right. D, I said this in the podcast. He said, or they said, I don't know. Lionsgate is the real villain. And I don't understand. Every time that Mo'Nique has an issue that she talks about, she always highlights the Black people that are involved. And mind you, the whole situation, yes, they may have been involved in regards to her issues with Tyler and Oprah. But I was like, yeah, she mentions Lionsgate, but like, can you name somebody at Lionsgate, please? Because I'm sure that it's the white man or someone, like the white man that she didn't want to blame in regards to what went down during the Color Purple filming, and she wanted to blame Oprah. She's like, see, I told you about that Oprah. And we told you that it's not as simple as it was just Oprah. Anyways, look, why am I yelling? I'm going to lose my voice. But that's my point. I was just like, well, I wish you were just a fair name dropper. Just saying. Anyways, I'm going to bring up some more of our members. Again, shout out to our members. We appreciate your monthly support. Some of you have been members for such a long time. I'm going to bring up Miss Brooklyn Diamond next. Miss Brooklyn Diamond, how are you? Long time no speak.
Yeah, I've been going through some stuff over here and just got handed another something. So
sorry.
It's good to see you.
You too.
It's good to see you. Making it really quick. As they always say, there's three sides to every story: his, hers, and the truth. Somewhere in the middle of all this is the truth. But like I say in the chat, what's the end game? All of this is going on. You're airing what my grandmother used to say is your dirty laundry in public for all the people to see. What is your end game? What is it that you want out of all of this? Because you're not going to end up getting it. When you get into this business, you know what you're signing up for. Hollywood has been Hollywood for as long as, it's been around. The stories go back to the 1920s. It goes back longer than that. We know how the machine operates. So when you sign on to do that, you sign on to do that, to be a part of that, and you get paid. If you don't like what's going on, to me, I say take a page out of Chappelle's book and walk away. That man walked away from millions, didn't say a dirty word about anybody, did his business, and remains to be the GOAT. So what's your end game and what is it that you hope to get?
Okay. Miss Brooklyn Diamond, thank you so much for calling in. All right. All right, we have, again, if you're a member of the channel, we posted the call-in link. We're just going to take a few more calls. We appreciate everyone taking time out of your Friday evening to be here with us. We definitely appreciate that. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to share your thoughts. But remember one thing. Shout out to our moderators. Make sure you send love to our moderators because they have a tough job. We do not moderate adults in the comment section. So don't attack people for their opinions because that will get you kicked out and banned. All right? You can share your thoughts, but don't attack other people. All right? Anyways. All right. Rasani's backstage. We're going to bring up Rasani next to weigh in on this Mo'Nique and Club Shay Shay interview and DL saga. Rasani, what's going on?
Hey, Kim. How are you?
Oh, well, how are you doing?
Good. Hi, chat. Hi, mods. Hi, podcast.
Are you giving shout outs right now?
Shout outs to everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you all have a great weekend. With Stephen A. Smith. Okay, if you go by the calculations from what Monique said in the Club Shay Shay interview, which was what, 2 to 3 million or something like that she was making at that time, over 12 years, I'd be a bit pissed off about 36 million. That's just me personally. I think Monique, sorry, my dog. I think the reason people see Monique as being bitter is because she's been talking about it so long versus Cat Williams. This is the first time, me personally, I've ever heard Cat Williams say anything about the people in the industry. So I think that's the difference. As far as Black celebrities, we're in a white man's world. That's been a white man's world for many, 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 many years. I mean, so much so that they didn't want to hire us. That's why they used the blackface. Yeah. So there's not going to be that infighting amongst them because that's their world. And they've created such a toxic environment for Black people in that entertainment industry that it becomes like a very crab in the barrel mentality. And it's, I'm going to be on top and keep everyone else down. I mean, when she did the Steve Harvey talk show, and he pretty much said that he left his integrity at the door to make money. And I was like, ooh, that's what it creates. Sorry, I'm over my time, guys. Okay. Have a good weekend. Thank you, Kempire.
Take care.
Congratulations on the show, by the way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And when you come to Florida, come to Fort Lauderdale, not Miami. The traffic is horrendous.
A mess. Okay, you see how people are dictating? Y'all realize doing a tour or doing live shows, it's not easy work, all right? Hence why I have to enlist people to help me do it. It's not easy work. Y'all want me to come everywhere. I can't come everywhere. Not everywhere's paying like that to come everywhere either. Speaking of Mo'Nique, my Lord. Anyways, hey, Coco is music. I see you on Twitch, watching on Twitch. Guys, we are live on Twitch as well. We're live on Twitter. Hey, Twitter. We're also live on YouTube, the Kempire and Kempire Deli on Facebook. We're live behind the scenes here on TikTok as well. All right, let's get to some more callers. We got O'Shea. O'Shea, what time is it in South Africa?
It's just short of 1 a.m.
Oh, Lord. Okay. O'Shea, thoughts?
It's almost my comment is actually about Shannon Sharpe. I think he's a very poor interviewer.
Oh.
There needs to be some sort of guidance and direction in the interview. People, I think Charlemagne has a very similar problem where he just has people talk and you need to, but you can't just let people just be saying all manner of crazy things in between. Like you have to like lead the conversation or be able to have enough information about who they're talking about to somewhat, have some sort of wall there. I think like this interview, not as bad as the other one, but it tends to get a bit out of control. And with regards to Mo'Nique and D.L, it's just like very dark shades of gray. And I guess you just have to select which one you choose. Because I listen to the full 3 hour thing, but like and to D.L's many, many lives, but I can't, there's no way to pick a side for me. It's just different shades of gray. And I guess you just have to pick and choose from.
No. And I don't think you have to pick a side.
True. It's just a mess. But thanks, Kempire.
Thanks, O'Shea. Go to bed. Guys, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. We appreciate your support. Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. The French lady, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I wonder if someone costs, wait, hold on. If someone costs you 10 millions, how you would react. I'll be worse than bitter. The French lady speaking. All right. And that's a rough estimate that she mentioned. All right. Wendy's backstage. We're going to bring Wendy up next. What's going on, Wendy?
Hi, Kempire. Okay, first and foremost, I enjoyed your show. You did an excellent job. I was laughing, trying not to laugh too hard at work, but you did great.
Thank you.
I'm just like you. I'm twerking on the fence with this, but I'm seeing gaslighting on both sides. And I think both of them, all of them need Jesus, and that's it. And you have a great day.
Oh, thanks, Wendy is so short and sweet. Wendy was like, all right, let me just take that. That was like 10 seconds. Shout out to Wendy for keeping it short and sweet. We appreciate it. All right. Last but definitely not least, we're going to bring up Barry. Barry, what are your thoughts on this Mo'Nique Club Shay Shay interview and DL's response to it?
I'd already heard half of what Mo'Nique has said before, because she likes to go against people who she felt has gained what she should have. So a lot of it sometimes sounds like it's coming from a place of, I should be there with you, but for whatever reason, my career is not in that place. And so I'm just going to go rat-tat-tat-tat on everyone. The thing with the DL Hughley, he wasn't there to do the interview. So why are you mad at him for that? That's what from what I understand, was the catalyst of what happened a couple years ago. And you can't fault him because he didn't ask you those questions. And those questions were inappropriate. They weren't it was messy. But I think I lost respect for Mo'Nique when she decided to weaponize his daughter's assault.
No.
And you're a woman who will die on the hill that Oprah brought on your family members and your brother who did that to you. So you can't sweet babies, I love us, when you would do that to another woman because you want to get back at her dad for the slightest of beef that he did not create. But ultimately, I don't think Mo'Nique knows what she wants. Because I feel like she needs to do some healing, because you're repeating the same things, but as a result of it, you're not showing the progress of this fight that you're making, that you're doing for all of us, for all your babies. And I'm like, are you doing it because you want to be spiteful to these people? Because yeah, people have done her wrong, but there is some accountability for where her career is too, and I don't know if she's gonna get past that. And it's a very confusing thing. So,
all right, thank you, Barry, for calling in.
All right, have a good one.
You too. All right, y'all. I'm just to close this out, if I can. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that shared their thoughts in the live chat, and thank you to everyone that will be watching the replay of this and will be sharing their thoughts in the comment section. Again, we don't moderate adults, so act right. I will say this, and this is why I twerk on the fence in regards to this, and based off the comment section, you all are twerking on the fence. Some of you are twerking on the Mo'Nique side, some of you are twerking on the DL side, and Oprah and the Tyler side, and all of that. As I said just a moment ago to one of the callers, you don't have to pick a side. You don't know these people. If anything, you can learn from their mistakes. You can learn from what they're talking about. You can, if you are in a position of power, use your power for good. That's how I view these conversations and interviews. I don't know either one of these folks. I'm not going to know any of these people. I don't need to. All right? Any of them. Anyone that's involved or that has been brought up. If anything, it's teaching me how I want to conduct business, how I want to conduct myself. Look, you are your own life manager. So that's how I take all of what we're learning. That's how I take all celebrity news and gossip and things that we talk about. We were just talking about Jonathan Majors. Very similar. His whole PR situation. It's just like, what? But that's me. Not everyone can do that. Some of you are very passionate about what you have and what you believe, and that's fantastic. That's your right. But we're going to continue this conversation in the comments section. Again, I want to say thank you to our King's Guards. I know it's not an easy job, but you do it. You're always here. We appreciate you guys. If you missed any of our lives today, we had a live recap of Real Housewives of Miami. We had our members only. You got to see a portion of the New York City sold out show. Also, we have new tickets for our Philly date now available. More information is available in the description. And of course, shout out to our sponsor for today's live show, Rose Forever. Roses that last up to a year. Use the discount code Kempire40 for $40 off. Plus, you can get free worldwide shipping with the discount code Influencer. You can use both. All right? Get you some roses. It's Valentine's Day. Stop being so nasty. I know a lot of people are very passionate right now, and you probably feel like, right now. So go get you some flowers. Flowers going to help. And burn some sage or burn a candle or something. Or burn some incense. All of that will help. All of that will help. Do your body some good. I'm going to go meditate right now. Right now. Cody, thank you so much for the super chat. Cody says, hi, Kempire. I would love to chat with you on this with a Black trans lens. I think we're missing some amazing conversations about truth. That's interesting. I never thought about it that way. I love when we have those moments. Roxanne, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate your support. You guys, you can also support the channel just by liking the video. Just liking the video, commenting. And for those that dislike, that helps too. Thank you for watching. It's okay. You don't have to like what I have to say. That's fine. Keep watching. All right. Again, thank you all for being here. Have a great rest of your Friday and weekend. I will see you all in the podcast version of this live. Let's go. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all.
You bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire.